Agile or ITIL. We believe you don't have to choose, and we'll try to show that in this short film. Meet Anne. She just took responsibility for an agile team, and she wants to do the best she can to help adding value. Anne's friend, Kim, is a strong believer in working agile and thinks that processes and structure has nothing to do with it. Her team delivers fast and can handle change any time of day. Their customers are happy with the speed, but would sometimes appreciate a bit more stability and quality. Anne also knows Bill. Bill is a firm believer in processes and structure. He thinks all this fuss about agile is a hoax. They're just working without a plan, he says. When Bill and his team works, they get it right. His customers knows they get what they ordered, but sometimes it takes so long that they don't need the same thing anymore when it's done. Anne thinks that both Bill and Kim are right in a way, and decided to try to adapt and adopt the best of both sides. This is what she did when it came to handling issues or incidents. Anne and her team wanted to build good quality in, but at great speed. They realized that incidents was a great way to measure their build quality. But in their team, they called everything tickets or issues, and that included stuff that wasn't really incidents, and therefore messed up their quality measuring. To sort that out, they defined incidents as when something isn't working the way it is supposed to, or it could break tomorrow, and separated that from requests. The goal was, of course, to make those incidents work again as soon as possible. Now they could start looking at incidents to see what their quality was like. Fixing the incidents wasn't really a problem in her team, but she was inspired by Bill's process and decided to split their incident handling into three defined phases: analyzing, fixing, and closing. The analyze phase gives a direction for solving the incident, so they don't start running before they know where they are heading. This is where they make sure they do the right thing. Fix it is where the incident is solved. In the close it stage, they make sure they can reuse the solution just created. Hey, the same thing could happen again, right? Anne's team experienced that incidents could be raised in too many ways. They had a look and identified 5 different ways for customers to raise an incident. They decided to cut it down to 3 to avoid confusion and the risk of missing a few incidents. The team also had different ways to identify incidents themselves, and they decided where to look and how much time to spend on it to add good value. Anne's team wanted to be on edge and identify incidents fast and answer the customers without delay. So they chose to let one team member be a goalie and monitor incoming incidents, like a first line support, as Bill would say. The goalie role was rotated to spread the competence within all the team. All those incidents were now in different systems and places, which didn't give a good overview. So to visualize how many incidents they had, when they occurred, and their status, the team now gathered all incidents in one place. Since they all worked in the same office, they went for a whiteboard solution, putting all tickets on the backlog board and sprint board. Bill reminded Anne about the importance of prioritizing incidents, and in the same fashion as other items. They already prioritized their backlog weekly on their demos, but they found that the backlog was prioritized in one way, issues in another, and their core team used a third. They settled for one, and one that wasn't too complex to start with. When it came to categorization, Anne wanted to keep things simple, but still figure out what kind of incident hurts most. They settled for 2 categories, one for incidents they caused themselves, and one for those caused by others. That's that. Now Anne's team knows what has to be done, and they can say that the incident meets their definition of ready. And although they do it their agile way, they do most of the things Bill said just has to be done in incident handling. The team was already awesome at solving incidents, as in finding what the issue really is, figure out how to solve it, and then solve it with the help of the team. So they didn't have to focus on improvements here now. At this point, incidents are solved and Anne's team tells the customer, value is created. But she thought, isn't there a lot of knowledge that goes to waste here that we could utilize? To be able to solve similar incidents in the future even faster, the team chose to also gather some lessons learned here. What was wrong? How was it solved? And how long did it take to fix it? It was noted on all relevant items and summarized on their next retrospective. Important ones were moved to their knowledge board, so next time the same kind of incident hit the team, they know how to fix it, and they can even plan how long it will take them. Anne remembered that Bill always talked about whether incidents are allowed to be reopened or not. Kim's input was, does it matter? And Anne decided that since we were talking about moving a sticky from done to doing, it didn't. But they made sure an undone incident should be marked to know how often that happens. And also that sticky must be prioritized against all other ongoing items. To give customers fair expectations on how long they will have to wait, average throughput time was calculated. The team did this by having the goalie noting the time and date each incident was detected, and the teammate who solved it added the time when it was moved to done. Their average throughput was then put into a chart after each sprint. And to reduce future unplanned work, by avoiding the same kind of incident occurring repeatedly, they added the incident's root cause and put that on a chart. This way, they could see which area they need to focus on to improve. How that is connected to the categorization and tech debt in more detail is a different story to be told. There it is. By adding some simple steps before and after the fixing itself, her team now experience happier customers due to reduced response and throughput time. Happier team. They experience more flow with their clear steps and common priorities. Fewer incidents. Since they are logged in a way that enables them to identify where to improve, they get fewer of them. Anne simply added a few steps from both Bill's and Kim's perspectives and made them her own way to fit her agile way of doing things. Both Bill and Kim now feel proud that Anne listened to their advice and is excited by the output. And Anne realized that in many aspects, both her friends believed in the same things. They just used different words and techniques for them. And by applying them in her own way, she really saw strength in both of them. She didn't have to choose between them. So, in essence, we believe that you don't have to choose between Agile or ITIL. They can be combined by adapting and adopting. Hope this was to some inspiration for you.